Okay, so I wanted to do one more demonstration because everything that we've done so far is like very correct and perfect. So I wanted to try to use ink or line in a creative way and use the line in a more loose and gestural way. I did a portrait, but I don't want these lines to be perfect. I want them to be more creative and loose. I'm just getting some lines in here. I'm starting out being kind of, you know, what's the word for it? Careful. But I mean, like I want you to be creative in your drawing processes as well. So I'm just getting some major lines in there. And what I also wanted to show you is that I just cut out, like, those are kind of big lines, but I just cut this out. This is just a regular, like, writing pen. It's not working. Hold on. Got out two, though. Let's see if this one works. You can also use something like this for your ink work, right? It doesn't have to be the calligraphy pen, and this actually might be a bit easier. But like I was using that one for the thick lines and this one for the thin. I might put some wash on this, I'm not sure yet. But I want to just for the most part, I want to show you some loose gestural line work where you're not kind of trying to be perfect, and that becomes the joy of the drawing, right? So, like, I was trying to put flowers in here, right? But I didn't want to make, sorry, perfect flowers, right? I kind of am making loose and gestural flowers. And sometimes, I mean, this also takes practice, even though it looks kind of messy and fast. Like sometimes this kind of drawing is more fun and can give you better results than a type of drawing where you're trying to make each flower perfect and make each petal perfect, right? It's a different kind of like handwriting, if you will. Okay, so that's that. And then I have a series of flowers. I'm just kind of getting the middles. Okay, now I'm gonna move up here into her hair, and I kind of sketched out a butterfly right here. But again, like when you're doing this kind of loose and gestural drawing, like you're enjoying the mistakes that you're making, and those are a part of the drawing, right? You're not trying to get it perfect, or it maybe in some areas you are, in some areas you aren't, right? This would be really nice with some color in it, but we haven't done color yet. I put a moon right here. Just trying to make kind of like maybe a celestial type person. I'm probably going to change to the big pen again, but I want to put some flowers. I'm going to probably turn it around for a second. I want to put some flowers and some spirals in her hair. But again, I'm not like trying too hard with this, right? You know, I'm trying to keep it loose. And some drawings have a combination of this and, you know, more detailed drawing. And I'm going to put a sun right here since I put a moon over there. But now I'm kind of just being creative and letting the creativity flow, but also letting the line flow, right? I'm not trying to make correct or perfect lines, right? I'm just kind of being more loose and gestural in my drawing. I'm just putting one thing on top of another and seeing how it looks. Okay. Now I'm going to get the pen again and do some bigger, fatter lines for variety. And these I'm taking a little bit more time on because I don't want them kind of like dripping everywhere. I probably want another flower right there, so I'm going to leave that area blank. So you would want to decide, I mean, when you're doing this, you get to decide like what you would want to be gestural, or do you want the whole thing gestural? Okay. I'm trying to do varieties of line work. I could also come in and enhance some areas of the flowers with the thicker line, right? Just to give it some variety in the line work that I'm doing. This would look really nice with some watercolor washes and color. And I'll do a class on that later, so don't worry about that. But right now we're just working in black and white. And this could have hours of detail. I'm just doing a little demonstration for you just to give you an idea of different directions that you can go in, right? Okay, I'm going to put this down and go back to the pen. And I'm going to turn it around because that bottom part is a bit wet. So I'm doing some thinner lines over here. And I actually just got this out because I was having some trouble with my thinner tip. So I was like, why not just use this? But you can by all means use something like this or even a ballpoint pen to do some of your ink work drawings. Okay. Oops, you can't even see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. And then I'm just getting some thinner lines in the hair. And I probably want to put another flower over here. So you're just kind of letting your pencil or pen take over and just be creative, seeing where it goes. And these flowers are loose and gestural. I mean, the hair is kind of, you know, pretty controlled is the word I'm looking for. So you can have some of it kind of really gestural and some of it controlled. I'm kind of turning it around and working around the drawing. This is a stylized drawing, meaning it's kind of taking off from realism. I mean, it's based in realism. We can see a face, but it's kind of also based in fantasy. And this is something you're going to want to try when you're drawing. I mean, you don't want, unless you want everything to be realistic and perfect. I'm going to go more in this direction later. I just want you to get your skills down first before you go in this direction. Right? It's important to have your skills before you kind of do this. If you have really good skills, you can do this really well as well. And I like it. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the bigger pen and just get some darker lines in there. Just want to see if you can see. You can even be gestural with this larger tip. But it's a different kind of drawing that expresses something different, right? When you're kind of not trying to be perfect and letting it flow wherever it flows, right? And again, of course, you would make mistakes that maybe you couldn't correct. But it's just something to practice as well, instead of just drawing from objects and trying to be perfect, right? I'm going to come on to this side with a few dark lines. So I'm trying to have like a good ratio, I guess, between some lines that are like thicker and some lines that are thinner. Okay. You can also drip. So like if you go really thick and then hold it up and let some of the ink drip, then that would be dripping. So for example, like say I wanted her eyes to drip or to look like she was crying. I'm just putting some ink in there, and I may need to put more in there. Hold on. I want to make kind of tears, so it's not dripping. I may need to help it. Okay, so I mean, I kind of had to help that, but if you're using a different piece of paper, it would be easier to do some dripping, right? And then maybe I want the butterfly to drip. Oops, no, I just got a blot there that I didn't want. But maybe I want the butterfly to drip. So I'm putting this on kind of thickly. And I'm letting it drip. And again, the watercolor paper absorbs so much of it, it's hard to drip. But if you used a regular piece of paper, it would drip much more. Just for some variety in there. And then, give me 1 second. Okay, so like say I wanted to do like, this is just a regular, say I wanted to, I'm not going to get into full on color right now, but say like this is just a regular ballpoint pen. So this is a blue. So what I'm saying is you could even use something like this in your creative work and combine it, right? So I'm just adding some blue lines in here. I know we're just doing black and white. I'm just trying to show you some variety. Kind of giving her like a feeling of being a part of the sky since she has a moon on her forehead. Putting in some blue here. You know, just to give it, so you can have a series of ballpoint pens like red, blue, you can get them in a bunch of different colors. And that would be something else that you might want to add to your pen and ink drawings. I mean, this is using materials differently, which I will do a lot of later. But just wanted to give you an example for right now. Okay. This is going to be, well, as quick as it can be. I've probably already taken up a lot of time doing this, but I just wanted to show you kind of how to be loose and use line creatively. Okay. What else does it need? I'm just taking a look at it and seeing. What else I might want to add to this? I mean, this is a really quick practice. I think I'm going to leave it alone. That was just something that I think you should I'm sorry, I'm going to go right in here with some blue. Something I think you should practice as well, and I'll do a lot more stuff like this in being creative. That was just a quick little, thing about doing something gesturally and letting it flow. But I will go farther with this later.